This program has been made possible by the generous support of the Women's Foundation, the Ford Foundation, the McCormick Foundation, Zero Divide, the Stewart Foundation, the Nathan Cummings Foundation, and the California Endowment.
Oh boy, yeah, we yotv, we back here.
Youth culture, youth voices, youth power, coming at you.
What's happening? We yotv out here.
Before we go any further, I have to big up the magazine. Now look at
Youth Outlook, chronicle of young people's lives in the Bay Area.
known all over the Bay and beyond.
Got a lot of good stuff for you this time. Yo,
Hey yotv, this is Jasmine A here, and I'm here to introduce another episode of yotv. Now, if you haven't seen yotv, let me explain. We document youth culture in the Bay Area, in California, and around the world. And on this episode, we're going to take you all around the world where young people are going to show you their homelands and different places, everywhere from Kenya to Nicaragua. So our first story is a young woman telling us what it was like when she went to Vietnam. So without further ado, take it away.
My name's Diana. I'm 21 years old, and I am from Oakland, California. For 3 weeks, I woke up to a glass of homemade tamarind lemonade. My aunt, one of 12 in my mom's family, would wink and nudge me to drink on. I'd smile and thank her, all while being overwhelmed by a family and a place that I was just now being introduced to. Vietnam? Am I really here? See, I've never woken up to my aunt's smiling face, and I never knew what it would be like to visit a place my parents called home, but ran from to seek refuge over 30 years ago. While living in America all my life, I wonder how it would be to have real cousins. As I gulped down the tamarind lemonade, watching all my aunts and uncles gather on the floor to eat chicken feet and fish soup, I knew it was time to stop questioning it. For the first time in 20 years, I was in Vietnam, spending evenings with my real cousins. Every day was a learning experience. I spent a lot of time on a motorbike tour through the bustling streets of Saigon, catching up with my brother over a glass of egg coffee in Hanoi, picking up bootlegs, destroying mosquitoes, and hitting up the squatters after every meal. But nothing was more rewarding than spending time with my family, doing nothing more than just hanging out in the living room. Even though I had just met them, their energy, their stories, everything brought me closer to an understanding why I am so fortunate to be where I am today. In just 3 weeks, I experienced the time of my life. Now that I'm back home in the Bay, I feel out of place, yet inspired to make more visits back home. Because it's true, home is where the heart is, and Vietnam has definitely given me so much.
Time for a commercial break, but remember, we're going all around the world, so stay tuned because we have a lot of destinations in store for you. Youth Outlook documents current events and issues going on in your community. For more information, go to youthoutlook.org. Alright, so we're back from Vietnam, and now we're going to go to Nicaragua, where Roy is going to show us his homeland. And he's going to take us to Masaya, Bluefields, Managua, all these different places. I've never been there, but we're about to go.
Man, I'm hella high, literally. What you see down there is Nicaragua, my version of the motherland. Whenever I am in Tipitapa, this is the neighborhood where I stay at. All you see right now is dirt, but there's going to be a beautiful, modern home standing right there pretty soon. Basically, whenever I come to Nicaragua, I will have a home to go to. This is the park that I always come to whenever I'm in Tipitapa. I can shoot some hoop, get a burger, an ice cream cone, or just post on one of the benches and watch the people that walk by. This is a trip. There's a Shell gasoline station and McDonald's, and right next to the McDonald's is a shack. For a minute, you thought we were in America, huh? But this image represents what's going on with Nicaragua. Despite a lot of investments, most people live in poverty, but every now and then you see people who must live a nice life by the looks of their car. Managua is really blowing up. The last time I came here, there were only 2 shopping centers. Now, they've recently completed a brand new shopping center with a large variety of department stores that sold a lot of the brands we find here in America. Tommy, NYC, Polo, and Armani. And all the prices were in dollars, and many more shopping centers were under construction. Unfortunately, despite all the new shopping centers that are being built, only a small percentage of the people who live in Nicaragua can actually afford to buy these things. Welcome to Masaya, the place to go for authentic Nicaragüense souvenirs. Unfortunately, these kids are forced to sell lotto tickets instead of going to school because their family is poor. We're standing right in front of the Crown Plaza Hotel in Managua, Nicaragua, to witness my cousin Augusto Hodgson graduate from medical school. My cousin used to live in the U.S., but he and his family got deported back to Nicaragua about 10 years ago. He didn't let that get in the way of his drive to be successful in life, and today he's reached his moment.
Today's a big day for your son. What do you have to say?
Well, I thank the Lord that, well, work hard on it. Oh yeah, I really thank the Lord because, well, there is a doctor in the family.
Thanks to Augusto, I came back to the U.S. with a renewed energy to get my schooling done too. Bluefields is on the other side of the country on the Atlantic coast. It's an island within Nicaragua that you can only get to by going on a plane or on a speedboat. As you arrive to Bluefields, you will see a sign that says, "Welcome to Bluefields, Terminal to the Caribbean." Even though Bluefields is like any other town in Nicaragua, it's unique because most of the town is made up of darker skinned Nicaraguenses, and most of the people here speak more English than they do Spanish. Bluefields is not a huge island. Many of the residents of Bluefields don't even own cars because it only costs 5 cordovas per person to go anywhere in the island in a taxi. Bluefields is special to me because that's where my grandpa is resting in peace, and I also have a lot of relatives there that I knew and didn't know I had, as is the case with almost everywhere else in Nicaragua that I go to. When I grow old and have saved up enough money, I'm going to go live in Nicaragua and travel back and forth because thanks to my dad's family, they have shown me that the quality of life over there can be just as good as the life one lives in the U.S.
All right, so for our next story, we're going to go to Honduras, where we're really going to show you what life can be like when you venture outside of the United States. Here, people every day gather at a garbage dump and collect trash, bottles, plastic, paper to survive. Some people even live there. So this next story is really good, a really good view of what life is like outside of the U.S.
Podríamos decir que algunas 200 familias llegan a diario a ese lugar a recoger basura. Muchas de ellas ya viven allí, han hecho sus casitas, como pudiste ver, que son personas que viven en una extrema pobreza y que sus condiciones de higiene y alimentación son muy precarias. Se levantan a veces sin comer y se van al basurero y recogen plástico, cobre, cartón, aluminio, y lo venden a personas que allí mismo en ese lugar donde ellos recogen la basura se los compran, que son los intermediarios. Así como van adultos, también van niños, a veces hasta de 3, 2 años, niños de 5 años que ya recogen basura, otros que van ahí como los más pequeñitos porque sus padres se encuentran ahí en el basurero. Una persona de estas puede ganar de 100 a 150 lempiras diarios. Si lo ponemos en dólares, puede andar en $4.
¿Qué te gusta más recoger? ¿Qué recoges más vos? ¿Qué es lo que más te da?
El cobre.
¿El cobre?
Sí.
¿Y por qué cobre? ¿Pero en qué sentido el cobre?
Porque vale más, ¿va?
Vale más y tiene más pito, cobre, tema y es el más caro que hay.
¿Pero es fácil encontrar cobre o cuesta encontrar cobre?
No, cuesta recoger ahí en la basura.
¿El cobre? ¿Y cuánto se encuentra?
Poquito el día.
¿Sí?
2 libras.
2 libras. ¿Y ese cuánto te da cada libra?
39.
39 lempiras.
Sí.
Actualmente 50 niños llegan allí a ese basurero. Hemos conocido casos de niñas de 13, 14 años que ahí salen embarazadas, que consumen drogas, que se prostituyen, porque es el mundo en el cual se desenvuelven, el mundo de la basura. Como son personas que su diario vivir es con la basura, ya pierden su autoestima, su sentido de persona, de tener ciertos valores. Por lo general comen del alimento que llegan a botarlos camiones o carros de la basura que vienen de los restaurantes o lugares de comida rápida de la ciudad. Es espectacular ver cuando llegan estos camiones cómo las personas se pelean por recoger un alimento en medio de los buitres o sopilotes, como le decimos aquí en Honduras.
Like pick up material like anything I pick up. 90 lamp I get a day would be good.
Yeah, that's good. That's a good day. You get 90 lempiras.
Yes, yeah. I mean, if it's good because poor 90 lempira, I spend it like nothing because I have my woman and I have my child too.
How many children do you have?
6. This place, well, this is poor people. Poor people. We need somebody help us. We need somebody help us because this is a poor place, all right? Poor place. I mean, you see me, I don't like to be here. Well, how poor? And I don't like to go steal. Oh, let's work. All right? Oh, let's work.
You like to work?
I like to work.
What kind of work do you?
Anything I would like to work.
Es muy importante que personas de buen corazón e instituciones a través de programas sociales puedan ayudar sobre todo a estos niños con becas de estudio, con dándoles otra oportunidad de formarse y darles a sus padres una oportunidad de adquirir ingresos de otra forma para que el futuro de estos niños sea más promisorio de hacer algo por una realidad tan cruel como es estos niños y niñas que están conviviendo en ese basurero a diario.
All right, so our next piece is really good. When we say we document youth culture, we really do. And this one shows you what life is like for young people in France where there have been riots. And these young people are going to talk about experiencing job discrimination, racism, and overbearing police presence. So let's go there and see what life is like for them.
Late in October, 2 young people in the suburbs of Paris were chased by the police into an energy substation and were electrocuted and died. This event sparked what ended up being violence in the streets, people setting cars on fire, throwing rocks at buses. As the flames die down and the violence subsides, young minorities in France are left with the same issues that prompted the outrage: job discrimination, a lack of options and resources, and a sense that they are not accepted as members of French society. Dopi Gomis is a young Senegalese man born and raised in the suburbs north of Paris. He works, like so many of the young men in the suburbs, as a security guard, though his passion is music. On this night, he's patrolling an elementary school in the red nylon jacket of the security company and a backwards New York Yankees hat. He takes a break, though, to offer a verse of his. He says, "I've got French citizenship, but on French land, they consider me an immigrant. On the other side, I'm just a tourist. To me, a visa is just a scrap of paper that keeps you floating while the water gets deeper and deeper. But it's clear, if I had everything given to me, I might never have these moments of clarity."
La couleur de peau détermine la manière, l'endroit où tu vas vivre.
Determines where you live,
l'endroit où tu vas étudier,
where you're going to study,
l'endroit où le travail que tu vas faire,
the work that you will do,
et la manière dont tu vas vivre,
and the manner in which you're going to live.
In Paris, we spoke with Hortense, who founded and publishes a magazine called Cité Black. The magazine focuses primarily on black culture in France, which she feels is sorely underrepresented. She talked a lot about the importance of reforming education.
To teach to those kids who they are, where they are coming, why they are here in France, because they're not just like parachute. They don't. I'm in French. I'm in France. No, they have to be included in the story of the country.
We traveled also to the south to Toulouse. We got a sense of Toulouse being a city on lock. France imposed the state of emergency and put curfews in a lot of areas. In fact, while we were talking to some of the young people, we got swarmed by a group of police officers who wanted to know what we were doing, why people weren't inside. So it was a real sense of kind of overbearing police presence.
Apprendre à vivre ensemble, just learn to live together. And this is exactly what young people want. from suburbs and not from suburbs.
Also, while we were in Toulouse, we spoke with Réjean, who publishes a magazine called Respect, which I guess is primarily a youth magazine, but they try and access a lot of voices. They promote ethnic diversity. When asked about solutions, talked primarily about confronting discrimination.
La charte de la diversité. It's like a treaty signed by big companies to promote diversity in our firms.
Anthony Samoti is a Tunisian from Dunkirk, an industrial town in the north. Despite the lack of work and opportunity, there was almost no violent activity there. Anthony explained, there might not be much to do here, but we have better things to spend our money on than gasoline to burn cars. Anthony carried a worn leather briefcase with copies of his resume and was more concerned with finding work than any talk of a political movement. While the issues of identity and cultural acceptance have been forced to the front, a cohesive response has not. This outburst was a release of frustration, and now people are eager to return to their lives. What's significant is that people have recognized the extent of their frustration in each other. They saw themselves and their own exasperation and anger in the streets, whether they were out there or not.
All right, so we're going to go to a break, but make sure to stay tuned because up next we're going to go to Kenya on YoTV.
I'm in motion. 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 I'm in motion.
Alright, so next up on YoTV, Ross Cunningham is going to take us to Kenya, where he narrates through pictures his experience over there, showing us playing basketball and even thinking that maybe the Kenyans let the Americans win. So that's coming up next on YoTV.
I'm tired, but I can't sleep. I take a deep breath. I'm on a plane headed to Nairobi, Kenya, where I'll be staying for 3 weeks with 17 young organizers from throughout the U.S. It's my first trip to the motherland, and I feel almost complete. To touch down with the other side of my culture, I'm half Native and half African, has been a long-time dream, and now it's almost a reality. The other folks in the African Initiative Youth Exchange are tired but occupied. On arrival in the motherland, we're taught words in the language of Kiswahili with the song. I'm sharing a room with a young South African from Cape Town. He's mad cool, teaches me a little Afrikaner. The next morning, we take a matatu downtown, which is Kiswahili for a minivan. The brightly colored matatus are decorated with Nike swooshes, logos of teams like the Denver Broncos and rappers like Snoop Dogg and Eminem. The trip downtown cost me only 95 shillings. It's 80 shillings for every dollar. On our way back to the bus, we're bum rushed by a group of children asking for money. They follow us for 3 blocks. It makes me realize how foreign we look. I visit some schools in the small town of Kasarani, just outside Nairobi. It reminds me of the res. Dusty red dirt roads, kids, dogs, chickens running around freely. The homes seem lived in and people are very friendly. The highlight of my journey is my visit to Kariobangi, Nairobi. We helped the South Turks Youth Organization plant 45 trees. Then we visit a slum. The homes are made of tin with makeshift doors. Rags of clothing hang from lines and the orphans run around and are raised by the community collectively. An open sewer runs through the neighborhood. Across from the homes is a school where the children have clean uniforms and a playground. It's a lot to digest. Many in my group comment on the poverty, but I see spirit and love that showers me with a sense of community I've never experienced. After helping pick up trash, we play a basketball game. It's the U.S. versus Kenya. I think the Kenyans let us win because they were balling. We return to the center of the village and join a celebration with spoken word and local songs. I'm inspired to build a community similar to this. It's the climax of my journey and my life.
Alright, so it's not unheard of in times of war and conflict for the government to censor certain things and not let it be accessible to the masses of people. In Iran, sites like Facebook and Twitter have been banned, but we went to San Francisco to a protest and spoke to IT consultant Austin, who's helping to develop and get out software called Haystack that's letting people in Iran have access to those sites and get out information about what's going on in their country.
ای ایران ای مرز برگوهر ای خاکت سرچشمه.
We're out here on the 40th day after the election supporting the Sea of Green. We have wonderful protest with probably 10,000 people here in San Francisco. And there's over 110 other cities also participating. I was here today to speak about Haystack, which is a new anti-censorship software specifically developed for Iran. When users in Iran run it on their computer, it restores access to sites that the government has blocked, like Twitter and Facebook.
The way that we've been getting information out of Iran is by Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. Our young Iranian brothers and sisters risk their lives by posting information so that we can have a sense of what's happening inside that country.
So what does the Islamic Republic do? They block Facebook, they block Twitter, but guess what? We are not giving up. We have a coalition of proxy servers here, and here to speak to us about that is Austin Hip in the front line. Give it up for him!
As I mentioned, a lot of the sites have been blocked since the election. They blocked Facebook, they blocked Twitter. So we first responded with proxy servers, and at the same time we were working on a new project called Haystack. It's an anti-censorship tool that's specifically developed for Iran. We need your help telling the people there that there is an alternative. They can safely access the internet. When Iran first started filtering the government, we fought back by setting up proxy servers so users could bounce and get through the filtering. At the same time, we were working on Haystack. It's been about 3 weeks, and I've got 15 people on the team. We're spread out all over the United States, and we expect it to be done in 30 days. I think the hardest thing has been distribution. The government monitors what comes in and out of the country, and in order for Haystack to be successful, we need it to get around. Another huge constraint is time and money. On the funding front, we've had some wonderful organizations step up. The internet and Twitter has been amazing at helping make Haystack possible. And we're looking at more institutional and traditional funding now. We need all the help we can get. You can go to haystacknetwork.com. We need donations. We need USB keys. And most importantly, we need people that know people in Iran that can help get the word out.
Okay, so it's time for our annual vlog, which is on every episode. And this one is about the iPad, where me, along with my fellow Yo blogger, E-Mink, talk about Apple's newest crazy invention, the iPad, and what that could mean for technology buffs everywhere.
How's it going, Yo blogger community? I'm Ming, and I just wanted to, as part of our vlog today, I wanted to just show you how creepy it is. Well, I thought it was creepy enough when people walked around with Bluetooths. This girl over here is talking on her iPhone, and I can't even tell because she's literally talking to herself. See her? This is Jasmine A. Young People. iPhone extraordinaire. She recently got a new iPhone, and she thinks she's all amazing stuff because she's like the iPhone queen of Yo.
You mean like making videos? I recently, yesterday, joined the cult of iPhoneness. I haven't...
Cult. See how she's in a cult.
I haven't...
The Apple iPhone cult.
I haven't known if I was ready to make that big leap. I mean, I went from having normal phones all my life to having, a Trio, which was a big step, and it brought me to the point that I am today, where I am the proud owner of. People have iPhones. iPhones aren't like mysterious anymore. I obviously didn't get them when they first came out, but for people, I was skeptical about it, but it really is amazing. Like, I remember I went to the SF MoMA, Museum of Modern Arts, in the summer, and they have all this art on display, but one of the things was just an iPhone, nothing else, just an iPhone on display as art, and it really is amazing. And we found that Apple is developing what they call something where the iPhone meets the MacBook. It's gonna go for about $500, and this thing is supposed to help you do whatever you can't do on your iPhone, but you don't really want to do on your computer, I guess.
Can it give me food? Can it?
I don't think it can do. I don't
Can it
think
teleport
they
me
need that.
to the closest bus stop?
I don't think it can do
Can
that
it
either.
make my boss disappear?
It could make me disappear.
So after some research, this future product will be called the iPad.
Yes. So if you have your iPod, your iPhone, your iBook, iMac, you need your iPad.
How about an iBoyfriend? Does that come with it?
I want the
I want
iBoyfriend.
iBoyfriend. Personally, I would love an iBoyfriend.
I want the iBoyfriend. The iPad is, so like I said, it fits in between an iPhone and a MacBook. We can't care. We're using the MacBook. So it fits between here and there. The screen would be bigger than that, which is on an iPod or iPhone or whatever, but it's portable and it doesn't have a keyboard. So that makes it reminiscent of a digitized notebook, and you can portable it. You can bring it along easily. You can take it with you. It's more portable, friendly. Port friendly?
Is it so? It's kind of like a devolved version of the Mac Air, with no keyboard.
Yeah,
that's weird.
Yeah,
weirder because originally that was already weird. This is a whole new level of. We have no more ideas, so we're just gonna meld different shit together and make sure it looks cool.
I'm giving it to a man because at first when I heard about them thinking about developing, this is when the iPod was like huge on the top of its thing, and I heard about this was when the iPhone was like this mysterious thing, like they might be developing a phone. I'm like, who needs a phone? Like you guys are just
apparently
doing too
she
much.
does.
Who needs this?
She needs an iPhone because
Katrina,
don't do for her no more.
It
She needs to feel the buttonless padness of it. It's beauty.
It fills a void. The iPhone fills an imaginary void that I didn't know existed until I this is so easy. Why would I go back to the old way of doing things? And so the iPad, I don't think I would need one. I don't think I'm gonna buy one.
She says that now.
But
2 years from now, we'll do another vlog and just the exact same thing about like the
iPad. So just be on the lookout for the iPad
and the iBoyfriend in like 10
No,
years.
don't look for the iBoyfriend. iBoyfriend's mine, okay? When they come off the iBoyfriend, I want the original one, not off the assembly line. I want the prototype of the iBoyfriend.
Those are always the worst though. Prototype. The very first is like the most funky, like janky, like.
I don't care. I don't care because I don't want anyone else trying to talk about I got the iBoyfriend, the original iBoyfriend. Alright, so that's it for yotv, and I know you're tired because we've been everywhere. Where did we go? We went to Kenya, we went to Vietnam, we went all around the world. So make sure to check in next time where we will be right here at the same place, same time, yotv. For more information, stories, or anything else in the meantime, visit our website at www.youthoutlook.org. Thanks for watching. Hey yotv, this is Jasmine A, and I'm here to introduce a new episode of yotv. On this episode, it's all about being around the world. Like we said, our young people are going to take you to their homelands, everywhere from Kenya to Nicaragua, and they're going to explain to you small kids, parents, I don't know. So our next story is Alright, so our next piece is really good when we say we document youth culture because this piece takes place in France, where young French people are going to talk. What do you call them? Frenchies? Young Frenchies.